8 o'clock on the dot. I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk on a Wednesday morning, September the 7th. We are in the window, the peak of hurricane season, and you could certainly tell there are many recon missions today, including NASA flying their DC 8, which you AV geeks would know that's a fairly rare airplane this time of year. I say this time of year, I should say more like this generation, really. And I was fortunate enough to be on that DC-8 while I was on the ground, but got to nerd out just a little bit. Anyway, we'll be talking about the tropics and the very busy nature there. We're also going to be talking about our big story locally, which is building rain chances. Yeah, showers and thunder showers are going to start to really increase in coverage, so we'll be talking about that. All the nerdy stuff with the tropics, including a strengthening Hurricane Earl. It is sitting just to the east of the Bahamas, Turks, and Caicos. What's next for that storm system? Well, we've got you covered. But the good news is that with everything that we're monitoring in the tropics, there is nothing threatening us here in Central Florida, at least not for right now. All right, so here we go. A live look. There is our New Smyrna Beach Tower Cam, the Ponce Inlet, looking absolutely stunning. Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Seas and surf continue to look good. There have been many people out enjoying the day for a morning. Certainly you'll see plenty more heading out through the day. Julie, good morning to you. Mickey, Juan Carlos, good morning, good morning. Jan, Nancy, good morning. Kenneth, I see you there. John, good morning to you. Ellie, Pam, good morning. Hope everybody's having a great start to the day. Vanessa's Life over on YouTube, good morning to you. Brandon says, hello, sir. Finished mowing my backyard after dark in anticipation of some rain today. Brandon, you are right, my friend. Lots. Yukon says, good morning. Can I join today home isolating with COVID? I hope you feel better, Yukon. Yes, you can, of course, join. Digitally, we're going to keep each other safe, but hopefully we'll be able to maybe put a little smile on your face, and if nothing else, give you a little bit of communication, right? Here's a look at temperatures out the door. 70s and 80s, no surprise here. We are certainly not enjoying any fall-like weather, which, by the way, is different up to the north. The northeastern United States already starting to... It's so funny. I was just telling Jeannie about this, about how... Where did the unofficial end of summer come? And it's like literally the week after Labor Day, and I'm trying to find my national graphics. I may not have them loaded in because as I'm looking, I don't see them. Literally the week after Labor Day, the pattern already starts to shift. So here's a look at the wider perspective. There's a little bit of a storm system off the coast of like the Delmarva Peninsula there. And interestingly enough, it's bringing showers into New York, but it's also bringing in kind of this fall-like atmosphere. Temperatures as they wake up this morning are in the 60s there. And I learned all of this from the Today Show, so I'm just kind of repeating what they were saying. But temperatures this afternoon are going to be limited into the 70s. So there's a little taste of fall. Look at that. Bangor, Maine at 53 degrees right now. 64 degrees in Buffalo and Boston. So temperatures are hinting at fall up there. Certainly that's not the case here in Central Florida. We are very much still in a summer's pattern. So let's look at the forecast then. And yes, it's again expected to be hot. The soil has been dry, relatively speaking, so I think that we're going to get to about 94, 95 degrees for our daytime high today. And then we'll kind of develop those showers and those thunder showers. A higher coverage of rain today, 60% coverage of rain through 5 p.m. So it is more than likely going to be a more active afternoon. And I'll be there in the Weather Center. Manalfi will be there, and meteorologist Cam Tran will be there. So we'll be tracking it all for you through the day. Jan says, not good weather for dogs. Love knowing when to take them out before the rain hits. Yeah, I think that by 3, 4 o'clock, we'll already be sparking stuff up. So let's take a look at Futurecast and kind of get an idea. 95 today in Orlando, 94 our high temperature in the Villages. Average high, by the way, has dropped to 90, so we're well above average, right? There's lunchtime. Good to go. Take the dogs out for a walk. No problemo. But notice by 1, 2 o'clock, already popcorning up showers out east of town. And then there's 4 o'clock. Especially east, we're getting into some heavier downpours inland of I-95. but east of the metro. Then 6, 7 o'clock, we're watching those storms marching into the metro. So before dinner, you're good to go to take the dog out. After dinner, it's stormy weather, and that persists as it kind of spreads out toward the west. and then will gradually fade thereafter. So today is a stormier pattern, and this starts a bit of a stormy pattern for Central Florida. Our rain chances are going to continue to go up, not just for today, but over the next couple of days. Rain chances elevated across Central Florida. Not great news for Friday Night Football. Not great news for UCF football. Trying to find that graphic. There we are. Here's a look at the rain chances over the next couple of days. You could see Friday kind of the peak of energy with a 70% coverage of showers and thunder showers. So as long as you plan accordingly, you're good to go. Mickey's asking, is the surf up due to the hurricane? No. Right now, surf still remains nice and low. Now, by mid to late week, we may be seeing that. But Earl really slowed down. Excuse me, I did coffee. Hold on. Earl really slowed down its forward motion, so it kind of pushed back the surf rising a little bit. Yukon, you're right. Dan Satterfield is up there on the Delmarva. I grew up watching Dan just a little bit on Wesh. Kind of funny. Oh, I pronounced it wrong. It's Banga, Maine. Yeah. Anyway, oh well. Yukon, it's okay. You take it easy, Yukon. You're sick. Relax. If I need to drop off some matzo ball soup, I'll do it, right? Can I assume this means trouble for the Orlando City game tonight? Jennifer, I was wondering when somebody was going to ask. Yeah, so of course there's the big Orlando City game. I've been watching social media trash talking, and it's been a lot of fun. Here's the forecast for it, okay? I wish that we had a better setup. I would say this. Because the game starts a little bit later, the good news is we're looking a little bit okay. For pregame festivities, yes, we're talking showers, we're talking thunder showers. But for the game itself, 8 o'clock, the storms are starting to fade and starting to move out west. So I'm hoping that we'll be okay for this. And I know, Jennifer, a lot of people are heading out to the game. So I'm hoping for good weather. That said, in addition to that, of course, there's plenty of other events around Central Florida, such as Halloween Horror Nights, mentioned here in the chat by Millie. Yeah, showers and storms for the early part of the event, but of course this event goes late, and we're looking good for the latter part of the event. So yeah, you're going to be okay in that respect. Then, of course, today's Wednesday. Then we look ahead to like Friday night, and I know that there's a lot of high school football. This UCF fan has to start with UCF football, which I will say showers and thunder showers are going to be around for the night's football game, all right? Louisville's coming to town. Let's just beat up on them, go 1-0 in the Muddies. Hopefully, we'll be good to go in the weather department. Boy, this game was a rough one last year, and we're hoping for a complete turnaround this year. So that's going to be a really, really good football game. Jennifer says husband is going to get soaked at the game tonight. I will be cozy and dry at home. That's okay. Shauna says Friday night at the Athens Theater, Rocky Horror Shadowcast show. Can't wait to dress up and get my prop bag. Oh, that sounds like fun. It's going to be a better forecast inside than outside. Now for today, if you're heading out to any of the area attractions, showers and thunder showers certainly are around. But the majority of your day is going to be fine. It's that latter part of the window that we have to deal with. So what's going on? Why the addition of the moisture? So we've had this piece of drier air upstairs around us. But looking at today, interestingly enough, there's a cold front north of our area pushing in, and it's going to help to funnel in moisture. So for today, for tomorrow, we're watching a stormier pattern. Then Friday, Saturday, computer models are hinting at an area of low pressure developing out in the Gulf of Mexico. And curiosity gets me on what happens there. Does that area of low pressure try to develop into anything tropical? Maybe, maybe not. But at any rate, it's there. And we'll have to kind of see how that plays out. But for you and I, it includes a particularly stormy pattern, right? Take a look at Central Florida's certified most accurate 7-day forecast. Today, a 60% coverage of rain, 60% tomorrow, 70% Friday as that low starts to form and throws more and more moisture at us. And then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we kind of ease back down little by little by little. But it's still going to be a stormy forecast, right? We're entering into a pretty moist setup. Yeah. Mickey's asking, how much in the rain total department are we expecting? That's a good question. When I checked yesterday, it was like some areas 3 to 5 inches, but let's just take a look. Where is this? Give me a second. There's so many graphics. I was mentioning before I came on to Coffee Talk. It's like, it's a little overwhelming how many graphics we have set up for today. So there's Futurecast through Saturday morning. The orange shades that you see there, 3 to 5 inches. The like goldenrod, the deep orange, that's 5 to 8. So you can see where there are some areas that are talking about a whole lot of rain, some areas that are talking about a little bit less. Our focal point, according to Futurecast, is going to be kind of the Orlando metro area off to the east. If you live out Sumter Lake, Marion counties, while the focus for you maybe later this afternoon includes a few showers and storms, it really is going to be that tri-county, Orange, Osceola, Seminole, and then perhaps even kind of central Volusia counties. So that's the bullseye, if you will, the next couple of days. And that's as far out as our high-resolution Futurecast goes. Okay, now that being said, let's look at that same Futurecast, but in terms of the more conventional model, right? If I can find the darn thing. All right, here we are. All right, so we're just going to run this through time. And we already ran it through today, so that's fine. But we can pause it again. There's 6 p.m., widely scattered showers and thunder showers. Certainly that's going to play. And there's the Orlando City game getting going around 8 o'clock. And we've got the showers and the thunder showers kind of in the metro area, right? Let's continue that through tonight, and by midnight, we're nice and quiet through the overnight. Here's 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're nice and quiet. Continuing through late morning tomorrow, looking good. Into the early afternoon, there's 3 p.m. starting southwest, and then marching into the metro, and then firing up out east, which is why the metro looks to have the majority of the showers and storms for tomorrow, as everything is pushing off to the east. Then Friday, of course, Friday, big forecast question marks because of the Friday night football for high school, and UCF is playing. There's 1:30. A few showers and storms kind of starting to work over. There's 3:30 working out east, and then there's 6:30. It's close enough to not Exploria Stadium, but FBC Mortgage Stadium. 8:30, there's going to be some storms in the vicinity. Whether or not it's right over the stadium is a question mark. But there's 8:30. Friday night football games are going to be in question. So for what it's worth, yeah. The rain chances are going up. That's where we're at. I do want to point out, though, that one thing that has been up has been our temperatures. We hit 98 in Orlando yesterday, okay? We hit 97 in Orlando the day before. We hit 96 the last 2 days in Sanford, which is a tied record. For today, we're forecasting 95 in Orlando, forecasting a record high in Sanford going back to 1951, getting close in Leesburg, and having a few notches between records and forecast highs for Daytona Beach and Melbourne. So the heat is here. The heat is here. There are now 15 days until fall technically begins, the autumnal equinox. All right, that begins Thursday, September 22nd at 9:03 p.m. All right, so it has been hot. We're going to continue this hot stretch. One thing that I found interesting, Tony and I did quite a bit of research, including yesterday. Orlando has had 122 days of 90-degree plus temperatures. Average for the year is 106, so well above the average. The most ever was 152 days back in 1919. All right? So we've already had, today is the 7th, we'll just count today because we're forecasting highs in the 90s again today. So we've had 7 90-degree days, or will through today have had 7 90-degree days during the month. Do you know how many 90-degree days on average we see during the month of September? 17. We see on average 4 90-degree days during the month of October, and we see on average 0 90-degree days during the month of November. So we're stepping in the right direction. But if this continues, just to give you an idea, if we continue and just use averages, historical data that we've had for this year, and then average out, it would put us in 8th place for the most 90-degree days for a year. It would put us at 137 90-degree days for the year. Now, that's assuming that we stay average the rest of the year, which probably will not be the case. But there you go. One point of note is that the record 90-degree days in Orlando, not last year or the year before, 1919, 1922, 1921, 1929. What happened in those years? The Dust Bowl, right? So putting everything together, yes, we've had a lot of 90-degree days, but you go back 100 years ago and we had many more. Now, we'll see how it all finalizes out. But, my big thing is perspective, right? Perspective is key when it comes to understanding the weather and understanding the climate. And of course, you can't talk about this without at least looking ahead and saying, when do we get our first temperatures in the 50s? Usually mid-October. When do we get our first temperatures in the 40s? Early November. So again, here we are, September 7th. That's not all that far away. Autumn technically right around the corner. So I'll take that. I'll take that. Very happy. Yeah. Any questions? Otherwise, we can pop up the 7-day forecast, and then we can move on to the tropics. There's some stuff going on out there. Nothing scary, though. Sure could use a long stretch with not needing the air conditioner or heat, Vault, right? I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. Well, let's not beat that 152 over 90 days. We need a cool down, Michelle says. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Right? Too far away if you ask me. We're getting there. We're getting there. All right. To the tropics we go, shall we? There are 4 things that we are monitoring in the tropics. All right? You ready? 2 hurricanes. You've got Hurricane Danielle in the North Atlantic. Thankfully not a threat to us. It'll go up around the Azores, eventually working over toward like Spain and Portugal. And then you've got Hurricane Earl. Hurricane Earl getting a little better organized, as a matter of fact. Here's a look at the statistics on Hurricane Earl. Maximum sustained winds did go up this morning. Maximum sustained winds are now at 85 miles an hour. It is lifting to the north at 6. This is going to be a recurving system. It's well north of Puerto Rico, outside of the Bahamas, outside of the Turks and Caicos. Pressures at 978. There are many recon missions in storms today, surveilling and learning and studying to make sure we've got the very best data, because for Earl, at least when it comes to Earl, the storm system is going to be close and is going to make a close pass to our friends in Bermuda. Now, they're battle hardened, certainly, but let me just kind of move this to give you an idea. Like, there's Bermuda, right? It's moving due north right now, and it is going to start to move a little more to the northeast. But how close does it get to Bermuda? That's element number 1. Element number 2, this storm system has begun intensification, and it should continue that intensification over the next several days' time. Here's a look at the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center. Expected to not only continue to intensify, but more than likely, as it passes just off to the east of Bermuda, becoming a Category 3, a major hurricane. Okay? So that's why we're watching it very closely. And then as it moves into the North Atlantic, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it gets into cooler waters that have been upwelled because of Hurricane Danielle, and thus will start to weaken just a little bit. It'll still be, a strong low, but it'll be a non-tropical area of low pressure. All right, so that's Earl as it stands. Then off the coast of Africa, in addition to Earl and Danielle, we have 2 areas that we are tracking out there. The first one, in orange, has a medium 60% likelihood of getting going. I believe that has been dubbed Invest 95. Invest 95. You can kind of see it there on the left side of the screen. It's looking better organized. More than likely has begun Tropical Cyclone Genesis. And then back behind that, another wave coming off the coast of Africa as well. So these systems are all, they're all out there. We'll take a look at the computer model data. I was looking at this a moment ago. Let me get it turned around here. Bada bing, bada boom. All right. So this is the raw GFS model. And let's just come through here and see what's doing. There's Earl recurving. There's Invest 95 doing its thing. A couple more waves rolling off the coast of Africa. You can see there that's September 16th. Something approaching the northern Caribbean islands, but staying north. The feature south of or outside of it, weaker. That puppy recurves. But that becomes a massive storm system, right? What is that, a 943 low? How often do you have a 943 millibar low off the coast of like Nova Scotia? If that's the highlight of this year's hurricane season, boy, isn't that going to be something else? If you keep getting these hurricanes that far in the northern latitudes, right? Then it kind of does its thing, nothing crazy, and then that's as far out as the model goes. That's the GFS. European is pretty much on the same token. Let's just take a look at that. Bring in Earl, recurving. Notice, though, just off this picture, the European deepening an area of low pressure in the Gulf of Mexico on the far left side of your screen. That's that storm system that's going to be bringing up our moisture this weekend. Does it go tropical? Does it try to develop? We'll have to see. But at any rate, the European does show pressures lowering there, whereas the GFS is a little less bonkers than that. So there's that. Let's continue through on the 0Z European. Storm system around the 15th in the northeastern United States. Bringing them a lot of rainfall. Probably not tropical in nature, but that at least looks like the feature timing out and pattern-wise. That looks like the feature that we had timed out in our hurricane season forecast. So good, not a tropical feature. And that's as far out as the European goes there. Something out in the open waters of the Atlantic around September 17th. Now, let's do this. Let's come over to the ensembles. We'll come back to the Caribbean view because I want to take a look and see down the pike a little bit here, okay? So this is September 17th, and there's something passing by to our east. But notice the Gulf of Mexico. Some of the ensemble members are trying to bring something together. They're trying to do something. They're not sure what, but they're trying to do something. That's around Wednesday, September 21st. Okay? Now, if you've followed our long-range hurricane forecast, which we issued March 1st, we had the very last piece of our tropical puzzle for this year was around late September. It was the Florester, the final version of the Florester. This is what we had highlighted for a storm system from November 6th, 2021. It had cycled through several times through. Mid-May, non-tropical, late July, non-tropical, late September. So 21st through the 25th is kind of the window for it. Focused on the West Coast, but, there was a potential of an East Coast area of impact. So that's what we highlighted March 1st, okay? The ensemble members are trying to do something in late September in that vicinity. But what I want to do is I want to show you the BSR. Now, the BSR is a tool that we have used quite a bit and will be using over the next few weeks quite a bit. It's a teleconnection, essentially. What you're looking at is the Bering Strait, the Bering Sea. And what we can do is we transpose a map of the United States over it, because what we found scientifically is that weather there gives us an idea of what's coming here about 2.5 weeks after the fact. So let's just roll through here and see what's doing. Okay? And what I want to point out here is right around here. You've kind of got this frontal boundary doing its thing, and then there's some stormy weather that starts cropping up around Florida. You see that there? Let me back this up. So this is kind of like right now-ish, frankly, up there. But there's a front that ends up generating like an area of low pressure over Florida, right? And so that, if we just look at the current picture there, that's the current picture in the Bering Strait, okay? So that is valid 6Z on September 7th. So this is right now the Bering Strait. And then we put a map over Florida. So you've got an area of low pressure over where Florida translates out to. So today is September 7th. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So the 24th of September, around the 24th of September is when that translates out to being a piece of energy over Florida. And that times out directly with not only location, but timing of the last cycle of the Florester. Okay? So there it is. Right? It's kind of in that vicinity there. So I'm not saying we're getting a tropical system. We're going to get a storm system around the 24th of September. Tropical, not tropical, too early to tell. But I just want to put you on kind of notice that the model data, the indications are that something will play out kind of in that time frame. Okay? And then, of course, we're going to be using the BSR quite a bit because then we start looking at a new LRC cycle. And of course, we don't have a hurricane forecast that covers that, so we can only kind of go 2 weeks out from there. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out for sure. But around the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, in that vicinity there, late September, there you go. That's what we've got. And we've got that published. That has been out since March 1st. And here we are, September 7th, and it's playing out just as we kind of had thought. Anne-Marie says, I think we may go through hurricane season unscathed. Wishful thinking, maybe. Well, certainly. I mean, I will agree on that wishful thinking for sure. Yeah. Mickey Smith says, LRC bingo, northeast low located on the models. Yeah, I mean, it's not tropical, but it's there and right on time. So that's cool. I like that. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? I'm good with it all. We'll see how this plays out. What you are going to notice either way is that come October, the patterns are going to change. And that's when we're going to have to start. You know, I really take notes. My busiest months meteorologically, October, November, December. I work harder meteorologically during those months than ever before. And what's so funny is that those used to be my easier months as we transition to the dry season. But with the LRC, I mean, I am neck deep. I am chin deep in data that entire time. It's as if I'm back in college, seriously, because I'm studying and studying and studying. That way, when it loops, I'm like, oh, there it is. There's that. It's wild. And Jeannie will tell you, it's very funny. All right. So to summarize all of this, rain chances are going up, my friends. Today, 60% coverage of storms. Still hot before the storms arrive. Then for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the temperatures start to go down because we've just got a lot of stormy weather around. Friday looks to be particularly stormy. My nights, I'm sorry. High school football, I'm sorry. We're working on it. Right? And then Saturday, Sunday, Monday staying fairly unsettled. All right? All right. I've got a lot of work to do. Heading into the office a little early today. I'm in like nonstop meetings. That's why I already have my tie on, so I don't even have to deal with it. All right. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. I'll be tweeting through the day, keeping you guys and gals updated. All right. Be good. Be good. Thank you so much for hanging out. And I will see you all later.